Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we'll learn about performance analysis and the kinds of or types of the performance analysis. Coming to performance analysis, why actually you need performance analysis? Suppose there exists a problem and we can write more than one algorithms on that particular problem. Okay, you have a problem and we can write many algorithms for the same problem. And if you want to know which algorithm is better among this, then you need to make a performance analysis. What are the criteria for judging algorithms that have more direct relationship to performance? That are, one is a priori estimates and posteriori testing. And this is also referred as performance analysis and performance measurement. And more about, we are going to learn more about performance analysis in the later slides. Performance evaluation can be loosely divided into two major phases, and these categories are based on the computing time and storage requirements. Let's now understand about performance evaluation and the two phases of it, the space complexity and time complexity. These are the two phases of performance evaluation. The space complexity of an algorithm is the amount of memory it needs to run to completion. So here you are more interested in the utilization of the memory by the algorithm. Okay, and when it comes to the time complexity of algorithm, it is the amount of computer time it needs to run to completion. So here in the time complexity, you are interested in the execution time, that is the execution time taken by a algorithm. Next, let's in detail study about space complexity and its examples, and regarding time complexity we'll study in the next slides. The space needed by each of these algorithms is seen to be the sum of the following component. Let's understand how to calculate space complexity. Space complexity is sum of the fixed part and the variable part. What is fixed part? Fixed part is nothing but instruction space that you have specified in the algorithm. What is the space occupied by the instruction that you have written or that have used in the program or algorithm? Space for simple variables. If it is int, you can consider as 2 bytes. If it is float, you can consider as 4 bytes, and so on, based on the compiler. And fixed size component variables. Next, space for the constant. What if you have used any constants, then what's the space utilized by that? So in case of fixed part, these three things comes under, you have to consider here. Next, variable part. What is variable part in the algorithm? Variable parts are those whose size is dependent upon the particular problem instance being solved. Okay, and that means in some cases some parts of the program or algorithm that is the space utilized by the some parts of the algorithm is varying. So you need to identify such instance. Okay, next it is a reference variable. Next, recursion stack space. What do you mean by recursion stack space? That is recursion stack for handling the recursive calls. So for each recursive call, it is going to utilize a space. So that you need to consider as a variable part. So in short, if I have to say, if I have to say S of P is, that is space complexity of any problem is nothing but C plus SP. Space requirement of any algorithm P, problem P is defined as S of P equal to C plus SP. Now let's consider one example here to understand about space complexity. I have considered here algorithm ABC, and which is going to take three parameters ABC. And if you closely observe this algorithm, what you can understand, that is, one thing is the variable, because we are going to calculate here space complexity of algorithm. So we are interested in the fixed part. Fixed part is nothing but C and the instance characteristics. That is, this part is a variable part. So here ABC is its location is fixed. It's not going to change. Only thing that value in that location will vary, but not the location. So ABC is just utilized for performing some arithmetic operations. Okay. So let's assume each ABC is going to take one word. Okay. So the space complexity of the algorithm is S of P equal to C plus SP will be 3 plus 0, which is equal to 3 words. Why 3 here? Because ABC are the fixed parts and each are going to take one word. 1 plus 1 plus 1, which becomes 3 words. Let's see now the examples related to space complexity. The constant part or fixed part, okay, fixed part of the algorithm, and SP is nothing but instance characters. So here clearly, by looking at the algorithm, what we can analyze that there are no variables which are dependent on the program, which are changing. The size of the variable is keep changing. Such a variable we are not finding here. So if you see here, for example, A, what I'm just making use of the A for arithmetic operation. I'm not changing the location. I'm not creating changing the location for A, B and C, right? So here for A, suppose A having some value 3, B is having some value 5, C is having some value 8. This the size of A, B, C will not vary throughout. The program. That's why these I'm going to consider here. Assume here that these location is going to take one word each. So totally the whole program is going to take 3 words. Okay. So this is a fixed part and this is a variable part. There is no variable part in the program. Next, I am going to consider one more example, sum of A, n. Okay, here I am going to find the sum of array elements. So clearly, this algorithm is going to find the sum of A array elements, and now our aim is to find S of P, that is what's the space complexity of a problem, is equal to C plus SP. SP is nothing but instance characters. First, let's deal with the instance character. Is there any variable which are dependent? Now, if you see here, array, once it is declared, it will have some set of elements in it. A, 0, 1, 2. Okay. N is nothing but 3. 3, 4, 5. And these array locations are fixed and you are going to take the values from it. Nothing nothing more than this. You're not changing, you're not reducing the array locations, or you're not extending the array locations. Okay, there is no shrinking and as well as the trimming the array locations. So that means one thing is clear. Yes, S is also fixed here. Which are the variables? Variables are S, I and N, S, I and N, and array A, array A. And S, I and N are the variables. We are going to take, let's assume, one word each. Array is of size n, because you know that array is going to read the elements until n location. For I equal to 1 to n, you keep adding the array location. So array is clearly of size n. Okay, so S of p. What is S of p? Let me name it as S sum of n. Okay, the problem which is clearly greater than equal to n plus 3. How n? Array n, and these each will take 3 locations, one word each, that means 3 words. So n plus 3. So clearly the whole algorithm is going to take greater than equal to n plus 3 storage size. Okay. Now we'll find the space complexity for recursive sum program, recursive sum algorithm. Now, in case of recursive sum, you can observe here all the parts of the recursive algorithm is dependent on the recursive calls. All these are executed based on the recursive call. Suppose the array contains 3 elements, 0, 1, 2, and then n is some 3, then how exactly this R sum is going to work, that we'll see. First of all, R sum a comma n, 3, that will be called. As soon as that will be called, what happens? As soon as this will be called, the internal stack space, this stack space includes formal parameters, okay, whatever you are sending, formal parameters, local variables, and return address, and these 3 things it is going to pass. That is, in case of this, a, n, and the return address, all these are going to pass. Okay, formal parameters are a and n. There are no local variables as such. So a, n, and return address. Totally, let's assume these 3 things going to take 3 words each. Okay, not 3 words each. Totally, it is going to take 3 words, 1 word each. A is going to take 1 word, n is going to take, because it's just an address, it is going to pass a, n, and return address. So total it's going to send 3 words each. And now once the first time it calls, it is going to call R sum will be a comma 3. So if n is less than 0, no, in this case no. So it is going to do what? R sum a comma n minus 1. So R sum a comma n minus 1 in the sense a comma 2. So it is going to again R sum a comma 3 is going to call R sum a comma 2. Now when R sum a comma 2 Again, if n is less than 0, then return 0. Else again it is going to call a function rsum a comma n minus 1, and it also, remember, it also does the last values addition in that set. So rsum a comma 1, rsum a comma 1. So again now it becomes a comma 1, a comma 1, n is 1, which is not less than 0. So that's why if transfer its control to else part, so return rsum a comma 0. So again it is going to call rsum a comma 0. Okay, and this time, and remember, it is going to make a addition. First time it is going to make a addition with a of 3, a of 3. Next time a of 2, next time a of 1, finally a of 0. Okay, so it is going to perform the addition. So rsum is 0 comma 0, rsum 0 comma 0 when it is a comma 0 when it is passed. Okay, what happens if n is less than 0, then return 0, return 0. It evaluates this and returns the value to the previous call. Then this will evaluate it and returns the call to previous call. Then finally this will return the call to previous call. This is how it is going to work. Okay, this is how it is going to work. Now one thing you can observe, the depth of a recursion calls is n plus 1. Depth of the recursion call is n plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see here 3 plus 1. N is 3, then it is n plus 1. And each time it is going to pass, it is going to make use of 3 words each. At least 3 words each, right? 3, 3, 3, 3 words each. That is 3 into n plus 1 times. 3 into 4 times, n plus 1 times. So that's why space needed is greater than equal to 3 into n plus 1. Space needed is greater than equal to n plus 1. So this is about the space complexity.